95, and Ivan Garcia, 5th place in the points in position 88, or with 88 in points. Now, these drivers are all allowed one drop week, which basically means they can take their worst race, their one missed race, throw it right out the window. And Steve Price, now, Kyle, this is what's interesting, has yet to win a race, but he sits in first place on that point scale.
Yeah, that just shows that you do not need to win a race to keep up in your points. As long as you finish good and finish strong, you can stay up high in those points.
So if you do have a bad night tonight, it's okay. You can throw that one race right out the window. We had a couple of drivers had to miss last week's race due to the holiday. They're going to throw that race out the window. But the main thing here is attendance and consistency. Now, looking through this field here, Kyle, we got a lot of the regulars here. We got Jason Russo running for Pro Automotive, Johnny Smith, Wally Tierheimer, Donald Sdusky's out there. Talk to me about this field.
I see a lot of good drivers. Travis Browder, Justin Michael, Don Sandusky, Jason Rossi. We have great quality drivers. I've raced with them all before. They all race clean and hard.
Drivers out here representing Maximum Velocity and KMA Racing. Big shout out to Richie B. He is a sponsor for the KOA series, and we appreciate everything that Richie Brose has done for us tonight. Richie B driving the number 38 tonight. Great guy, Richard Brose. These drivers currently are finishing up their qualifying times, and we're going to get right into announcing that grid. But how important is qualifying here at Michigan?
It's more important than it would be at like Talladega, Daytona. You have your draft, but the fields are known to spread out here. So you don't have a draft, you don't have big packs. You have 1, 2, 4, 4 or 5 truck lines.
And you will see a lot of drivers specifically on a line, possibly driving up onto the Q line. Everybody's line is a little different, but let's get into these qualifying times. Taking that number 1 spot is Justin Michael in the number 87, pulling down a 38.904. Sitting side by side is the number 17, Andrew Schulte, with a 38.981. P3 belongs to the number 12 of Steve Price with a 38.995. Number 21, Landon Ciradello, 39.002. And the number 5 spot belongs to KMA's favorite photographer, number 18, Travis Browder, pulling down a 39.006.
And your number 6 spot of Nathan Silvio, the 15 truck. He's pulling off in 6th spot. Gary Burr, the 88, held on to his 7th spot. The 81 of Chad Roy is in your 8th spot. The 48 of Steve Dutz is holding off 9. And Jason Ruscio, the 14 truck, is rounding out your top 10.
Driving in the number 146 tonight in P11, Kenneth Wright. Johnny Smith, number 75, running with Max Velocity. Very respectable position at number 12. The number 7, Wesley Whitfield, running tonight for All Pro Racing. P13 with a 39.081. Wally Tierheimer, the Burger Boy himself, number 57, 39.084. And Donald Sdusky in position 15, driving the number 23 tonight.
Cody Lipster in the 96 is taking your 16th. Richard Brosey in the 38 is going to take your 17th. Kerry Cleaver in the 069 is going to take 18th. Rob Haynes in the 68 is going to take 19th. And Brad Ream in the 61 is going to take out the 20th.
KMA's very own Jack Watts in the number 77, driving that brand new, shiny looking black and flame truck, brought to you by Over the Top Designs and Paints, looking sharp. P21. P22 belongs to the number 71, Coma Toyota, driven by Bobby Everhart. Scott Amy in the number 55 in the Trump truck, 39.244. Brian Rainville representing PRN in the number 60. P24, and J.R. Johnson in the pad truck, number 37, position 25.
There's Tristan Beats in the 211 is taking your 26. Edward Bray in the 66, another your KMA Black and Flame trucks, brand new off the paint room floor, is taking 27th. Uh, Danny Rude in the 19 truck took 28th. And Mark Jackson in the 3 is the Gravediggers taking 29th.
Rounding out the field, we have Donald Stewart, Rusty Farrell, Mark Allen, Sean W. Brown, Ivan Garcia, Jeff Ryan, Michael Johnson, Gary Whitmer, Ronald Hartfeld, Joel Guy, and Chris Boyles in the rear. All right, we are getting ready to go green. Going to be a good night tonight, Kyle. I can feel it in my bones. Tighten your belts. Buckle them helmets up, gentlemen. We are getting ready to rumble here in Race 4 of the KOA Friday Night Series.
Looks like Justin Michael hit the loud pedal earlier on that, and they're going green right now. Justin Michael pulling off to the front a little bit in front of Andrew Schulte, his teammate.
Number 12, Steve Price, just a little bit down onto that apron. Looking like he's testing the limits on those tires, taking a little bit of a slide, but Justin Michael right now in complete control. And Steve Price Jr. getting around. The number 17 of Andrew Schulte. Now, we were talking about the line. Looking at Steve Price Jr., he is following the line of Justin Michael, losing the spot back to Andrew Schulte. I tell you what, we're going to see a lot of tag playing on tonight, Kyle. What do you think?
Yeah, we will. Michigan has a few good lines. The middle being the best around the corners, but that low line does grip well when you have fresh tires.
Now, as we are seeing, these drivers are heading straight up into that wall. The trick there is to get as close to that wall as you can, pulling off as much draft and suction off that wall as you can. And right now, Justin Michael out there in front, commanding tonight's race 4. We are on lap 2. Justin Michael, the man in complete control. Had a very large field starting out here tonight. Going to see a lot of great driving. Actually had 39 drivers start tonight's field. Huge field tonight in race 4.
I'm watching a lot of the drivers right now, and we got some two wide right now, but I see everyone giving patience and giving room to get around this track.
Well, here early on, these drivers, it's not a good idea to really press your luck and go testing the limits of your tires. You got to have to make 3 green flag pit stops. That is the goal. You don't want to wear those tires out. So patience and situational awareness right now. Now taking a look at Nathan Sylvia in the number 15. He's currently sitting in 6th position. Racing pretty hard with his teammate in number 18 and the number 21 Landon right on his tail. Nathan Sylvia doing a great job tonight.
Yes, he is. He's been holding really good. I've been liking his line tonight so far. We got the 21 a little bit loose, so I think it's going to keep it down.
21 is going to keep it down. The 21 driven by Landon, making a good save there, staying well below the apron. Allowing faster traffic to get caught up. All right, very good job, too. Landon in the number 21.
Yes, and a nice safe re-entry back on the track right before turn 3 there.
Now, that will unfortunately cost him several spots as the number 96 of Cody Lipster passes Landon, followed by his teammate Donald Sadusky. Kerry Cleaver side by side, following suit. I tell you what, the number 23 of Donald Sadusky looking very sharp in that over-the-top designs and paints truck brought to you by John Hedrick.
Back over in the front a little bit. Justin Michael in the 87 still holding a decent gap between his teammate Andrew Schulte. They're all staying single file up here, racing easy.
Now, Travis Browder, he is up here in the front, and I guarantee you Travis will pull out a top 4, if not a top 3 tonight. Travis Browder, a young driver, very patient driver, definitely a leader out here within the iRacing community.
And if I remember right, talking with Travis, he loves Michigan.
Well, he is looking like a powerhouse right now, but our race leader is Justin Michael, and Justin Michael is being challenged by Andrew Schulte and Steve Price. Schulte and Price side by side. Steve Price coming around the number 17 of Andrew Schulte. And here comes Nathan Sylvia going for that third position as he tries to make a pass on the number 17 of Andrew. Whoa, tight quarters right there with Steve Price Jr.
Yes, that was. And the 17 of Andrew Schulte, I think he was got a little bit loose in that turn because he dropped back a little faster than you would expect.
Great situational awareness, though, right there on the part of Steve Price. They might have scraped a little bit of license plate, but no harm and no foul. And I tell you what, number 17 looking like he's wanting to take the 12 of Steve Price Jr. 3 wide, backs it down, back up to the wall, and I think he's going to try to get the inside move. I know that's what Travis Browder is thinking about at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like Travis is going to try to take 17 of Andrew Schulte on the high side in this turn, while Nathan's going to keep Steve Price on the low side and pass that turn, and pass him in that turn.
I tell you what, from inside of these Silverados and Tundras, these boys are working that wheel, keeping on it like a jackrabbit running from a hunter now. 12. Steve Price Jr. side by side, tight quarters with Nathan Sylvia. Going to make the pass, gets the inside run, but they are side by side, sitting in second and third position.
Yeah, a lot from what I'm seeing is how you exit these corners, because I'm watching Nathan and Steve Price going back and forth. One gets the high side, the other one gets the low side, and just keep passing each other, it looks like, at the moment.
Looking at it up from in the sky, and we are under caution, ladies and gentlemen. That will be our first caution of the evening, as we will take a look at that on our All-Pro Broadcasting replay. Where was it? And we do know that the number 19 was involved in that, the 19 being driven by Danny Rude. Danny Rude in the number 19 going into the grass, coming around the corner. Danny Rude biting into that grass, and I tell you what, that grass is not the place you want to be as he goes for a ride and comes back up onto the track here at Michigan, bringing out our first caution of the evening. Now, I do believe that one vehicle did not escape that, Kyle. I believe that was the number 72 of Ivan Garcia, possibly taking a hit, not quite being able to slide past it.
I was watching that from the middle of turn 3 and 4. It looks like he touched the apron just a little bit, got himself a little bit out of shape, and overcorrected, and it came back down into it. Then it all got haywire from there.
Well, unfortunately, that will bring out our first caution of the evening as the number 19 of Danny Rude goes for a ride in the grass on lap 8. But fortunately, Kyle, not really any casualties on that one. One truck may have just taken a little bit of nick, nothing that I think cannot be buffed right back out. Good break for a lot of drivers out here.
Yep, and if they did somehow get more damage than we noticed, they do have their 2 backup trucks.
That is a very good point. So right now there is no pressure on Danny Rude. He'll just take it into the garage and say, hey, I need a new truck for the evening. While we are underneath our first caution, let's go on and get our first interview of the evening in. How about it, number 87, Justin Michael. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, Scott, how are you?
I'm doing great. Keeping a good eye out on you tonight. I know you're going to put on a hell of a show tonight in that Toyota. Talk to us about what's on your mind here at Michigan.
I tell you, we're just trying to stay up front, stay out of all the wrecks in the back, and hopefully we get some long green flag runs, get some pit stops in here to spread the field out and make some for good racing at the end.
All righty, copy that. You are a man that definitely knows what he is doing and excels very well anytime you are behind the wheel. What are going to be the winning tricks tonight here at Michigan?
Just saving your tires on the long run, because I think you get something like 30 laps or so on a tank of gas, but your tires really start to go away after about 10 laps. So the cream will rise to the top after about 10 to 12 laps, I think.
All righty, and a shout out to your sponsor?
Absolutely. Just thank Next Gen Studios for sponsorship. You can check them out at ngsm.com. Yeah, hold on, sorry, ngsmn.com. I always mix that up.
All right, copy that, and good luck to you, sir.
Thanks, Scott.
User was moved out of your channel.
And that was Justin Michael. Big shout out to Justin Michael's biggest fan out there, Michelle McMaster Eisenhower. Michelle out there rushing home from work tonight so that she can check us out here on All Pro Broadcasting. All right, we had a pretty good first 10 laps right there, Kyle. Talk to me.
Yes, very good first 10 laps. Like you've seen a lot of give and take, a lot of room, a lot of patience, a lot of double wide still, and well, quite a few good battles.
Now, we are hoping to see green flag pit stops tonight, but we have not yet talked about pitting procedure here at Michigan. Talk to us and our viewers about successful pitting here at Michigan.
Successful pitting, coming in nice, clean, smooth, double wide. Um, if you're back in the pit, stay low. If you're in front, stay high. Communication is key for pitting.
Now, we do have a pit row speed here at Michigan of 55 miles per hour. That's a little bit slower than what these drivers are used to on the super speedway tracks. Pitting penalty of going in too fast. That will hold you for 15 seconds, I believe, and a speeding penalty for coming out too fast. That's going to be a stop and go. So pit row speed 55, very critical here. Are we on 2 to go or 1 to go?
2, lights still on.
And we are on 2 to go. We're going to get another driver interview in here real quick. Let's talk to the number 12 tonight of Stephen Price. How about it, Steve? Have you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, you're sitting up there in P2 working with your good buddy Justin Michael. Talk to us about your race tonight so far.
So far, so good. It's really hard here because it's so draft dependent and everybody burns their stuff up, and then once they burn their stuff up, even saving yours, it's even harder to get by them, and by that time the leader's pretty much already gone. So hoping we can do the best we can to stay up with everybody and just kind of lay back and save our stuff and beat people on tires.
All right, well, we saw some pretty exciting racing up there with you and Nathan and Andrew, but you just didn't quite seem to be able to get caught up there onto the rear end of Justin Michael. But hopefully you gentlemen with Maximum Velocity will work together and have a great race.
Yes, sir, I appreciate it. You guys have a good night.
Yes, sir.
User was moved out of your channel.
Tell you what, Kyle, we got a lot of great drivers in here tonight. Looking forward to some green flag pit stops coming up very soon. We are on lap 13 underneath our first caution. We've had 0 lead changes, and Justin Michael has been the dominating force. So far, we only have one driver, 1 lap down, and that is the number 38 of Richard Brose in pit row getting repaired. 38 drivers still on the lead lap tonight.
Yeah, and Richie Brosey's definitely not out yet. I mean, you have another caution, you get the lucky dog. He can come back. He can still take the win in this race.
All starts and restarts here are done on leader's discretion. Now what that means is once that pace car goes into pit row, it's on. The pole position can either wait for the actual green or he can go on and take off.
Yep, or mix it up and kind of go in the middle of both of them.
Now, knowing my good friend Justin Michael, I do expect him to be going shortly after that pace car goes in. Going to be a very exciting start. He knows that his teammate Steve Price is going to be running him side by side, and pace car is in.
And there, Justin Michael takes off in that lap hole right there, and Steve Price drops down to the low side to follow him, with 14 Jason Ruscio behind him, and Steve Price just went back to the high side, go with Nathan and Steve Dutz.
Now, it almost looks like Steve Price might be holding up the field a little bit as the number 14 of Jason Russo in the Pro Automotive Chevy.
Yeah, I don't think
side.
Steve Price is ready to lose that spot yet.
I tell you what, look at Nathan Sylvia being pushed on very hard by the 48 of Steve Dutz. Got to be careful with that pushing here at Michigan. It's not a speedway. You can do a little bit of pushing down the backstretch, but you got to be off him in those corners. And we have Steve Price Jr. going down below that white line, which is legal. Back up on track, trying to get a run on Jason Russo.
Yeah, I think Steve Price is going to take him in this corner. I see Nathan dipping down and try to take Jason Russo on the inside as well.
And side to side, a little bit of scraping going on with Steve Price and Jason Russo. Nathan Sylvia, very active on lap 15 early on. I tell you what, Kyle, these boys up in front, they're racing like it's 5 to go. What do you think?
Yes, they are. And you almost see Steve, 14 and 12, almost trade a little more paint right there. But, yeah, they're racing pretty hard up here.
Well, I tell you what, we've got some big action.
A little more training paint right there, and a little bit more. some door bumping there.
Easy, fellas. We don't want to wreck. He is like running you over, Jason. Steve Price getting a little bit of a bump from Nathan Sylvia. Tell
Yeah,
you what, Steve
that
Price
was my
racing very hard.
that was my little sketchy point right there. That was right out of turn 2, and he was bumping him.
Nathan Sylvia putting on a good run. Number 17, Andrew Schulte, actually seeming to back off a little bit. Yeah, he slammed you 3 times. Great racing tonight on lap 17.
Yep, and I see the 48 of Steve Dutz sitting here in P3, and I think this is his home track as well, and I see him pulling off a good top 5, if not first, in this race.
Well, Steve Dutz, great young driver, sneaking past Steve Price Jr. and Nathan Sylvia. But I would not count out any of these drivers up here out in front. Now, Travis Browder sitting back there in position 7, very smart driver. And I do believe if Travis Browder wanted to, Travis Browder would get straight to the front, but he knows tire wear is going to be important. He knows fuel is important.
Yep, and I don't count on any of these drivers yet. I mean, it's still early in this race, and we got a long way to go, and it can still be anyone's win.
One thing we do not want to see early on at this point is going to be the 3 wide. So far, everybody is content to stay double file, being nice and safe, dropping back and taking a look at Gary Burt in the number 88, racing alongside his teammate, the number 23 of Donald Sadusky. Both of these drivers tonight sporting out the new Flame paint job, brought to you by Over the Top Designs and Paints, looking like a couple of Twinkies out here tonight.
Yeah, I dropped back the exact same spot the year we're on Wally Turnheimer of the 57, and I'm seeing some good racing back here. He's got his teammate, the 75, Johnny Smith, up there, and I see a lot of good side-by-side racing here.
Brad Ream in that group of drivers that we are talking about. Brad Ream right now sitting in P11, racing against Johnny and Donald and Wally. Hey, big shout out to Wally's mother, Martha Tierheimer, just joining us out there on the broadcast. Good to see you, Martha. All these drivers out here tonight looking like they have got the patience to get.
We got a spinner, 78. Donald Stewart got hit coming into the start-finish line.
All right, Donald Stewart in the number 78. We're going to back that up. Take a look at that on our All-Pro Broadcasting replay. Donald Stewart going for a ride.
He got hit by someone. I can't tell who it was yet.
Now, it does appear that Donald Stewart was avoiding the Mountain Dew truck driven by the number 40 of Jeff Ryan. So the initial contact, I believe, was with Jeff Ryan, as Jeff Ryan comes around the apron, bites down on that white line. Jeff Ryan spinning into the grass, back up into the track, and getting a head-on collision. Kerry Cleaver in the 069, nowhere to go. Unfortunate break for Kerry Cleaver tonight.
Yes, it is. I was looking at Jeff Ryan during that unfolding of that. It looks like he got loose. I'm not sure if the side draft caused that or not, but he got loose, spun it back around, collected Donald Stewart and Kerry Cleaver. It looks like Kerry Cleaver is going to have to use his backup truck, which is unfortunate. Where do I go? And coming out to that caution, you got Justin Michael in P1, Jason Ruscio in P2, Steve Dutz in P3, Nathan Sylvia in P4, and Steve Price rounding out your top 5, coming down to pit lane.
Jason Russo, position number 2. He was a sponsor for KMA Racing and some exciting Tuesday night racing we've got coming up. Looking sharp out here in the Pro Automotive Truck tonight.
Very good guy right there, and good driver, and good person to know.
Now moving back from our top 5, looking at Andrew Schulte right now sitting in position 6, Travis Browder in P7. A lot of drivers going down into pit row.
Yeah, it looks like some are taking 2 and some are taking 4. I'm not sure if 2's the best choice this early on, but it could work out for him in the end.
Myself, if we are under caution, I'm going to grab every bit of fuel and every bit of tire wear that I can possibly grab.
Yep, under caution, you're going to have to sit, you're going to pace, and you ain't going to lose that many spots under caution, so you might as well.
All right, we're going to get a quick interview in here with our sponsor
User was
for
moved to
KMA
your
Racing,
channel.
Jason Russo. How are you doing, Jason?
I'm doing good tonight. How you doing, Scott?
I'm doing very well. I got some stiff competition up there in front of you. What are you going to do tonight here on lap 22, being in P2 spot?
I'm just gonna ride it out here for a few laps here, see if we can't get this Pro Automotive Chevrolet up front, keep it up front, and make some good pit stops.
All right, sounds like a very good plan of attack. Hey, you had mentioned Pro Automotive. Tell us what Pro Automotive is and where you're at.
And we're out in beautiful Dudley, Massachusetts. We specialize in all kinds of auto repair.
All righty, and I want to give you a personal big shout out and big thanks because you are going to be sponsoring up our upcoming 15-week series here with KMA, live broadcast by All Pro Broadcasting. So thank you for hanging out with KMA and being our sponsor, Pro Automotive.
And thank you, Scott.
There's another series coming up.
Pardon?
There's another series coming up.
No more what?
Another series.
Yeah, on Tuesday. I'll get with you later about it.
I'll cover.
Right now, under this caution, we have the number 72 of Ivan Garcia actually out there in position 1. Obviously not going into pit row. We have Steve Price on P2, Johnny Smith P3, Travis Browder, Justin Michael P4 and 5.
Well, that's a risky move. If he doesn't go in, he's going to get ran over with the guys with 4 tires.
You are correct about that one. Ivan Garcia, a very good driver, looking real sharp out there in that baby blue pad, showing a support 4 pad. But what you have mentioned about the tires, you are correct. And if he is on older tires, these drivers such as Steve Price and Johnny that did go into pit row and take fresh rubber, well, there's a possibility that Ivan's going to spin on that start, and these other drivers will have grip, and that could cause a chain reaction.
Yeah, that's never good, and you always feel bad when you're the one that caused that. I've done that before, and it was not fun.
Well, being in tune with your tires here, not only in Michigan, but pretty much every track, you've got to be in tune with your tires, your wheel, your drivers, your spotter, everybody around you. There is so much going on, so much chatter going on in your ear. Situational awareness, very important.
Yes, it is. That goes for every track there is.
37 drivers still on the lead lap. Our 38th driver, Kerry Cleaver, unfortunately having to park his truck on the last caution. Insurmountable damage. Tough break for Kerry Cleaver. Final truck on the lead lap. Donald Stewart in the number 78. Bobby Everhart in pit row alongside Donald Stewart in number 78. We on one to go?
Yeah, the trucks are bunched up now. We're on just exiting turn 2, coming on the back straight. They're about ready to go green here, coming soon.
So far, we have had only 2 cautions tonight in race 4 and only 1 lead change. Now that is a pretty low number right there, Kyle. 1 lead change in 24 laps. Justin Michael tonight leading the most laps.
Yep, and Michigan is notorious for that, kind of like the Gen 6s at Talladega.
Now, speaking of the Gens at Talladega, tomorrow night's live broadcast will be the Gens at Talladega. Going to be some very low caution racing going on there, folks. We're going to see a lot of green flag racing when we do those Gens.
Ivan Garcia, the 72, has a lead. Pace car tips off, and Ivan Garcia guns it right there to try to get that jump off.
All right, now this will be very interesting to watch. A little bit of a tire spin, watching that rear end of the 72 wiggle just a little bit, but he got off to a very good start up into the high lane, actually holding his own on those older tires.
Got a little loose there in turn 2 and 3, but he's holding his own. I see the backpack coming on him a little bit. I think he's going to go high and let him go.
I believe you're right. We are going to be 3 wide. Johnny
And
Smith into the number 12. The number 12 about running over Ivan. I tell you what, that was a little bit of a door slam on Johnny Smith's part.
I think that just ruined 72 of Ivan's plan right there to let them all go high.
Oh, here we are. We are 3 wide. We are 4
4
wide
wide
in the front. 4 wide. Ladies and gentlemen, Ivan Garcia up onto the wall. Knowing he's in a precarious situation, Nathan Sylvia all over the rear end of Johnny Smith, side by side with Ruscio. Steve Price coming out of that mess up very powerful. Johnny Smith into the number
Steve Dukes
48.
spin around.
Johnny Smith into the number 48 of Steve Dukes, bringing out our next caution.
It's very tricky in Michigan to hold up a 4-3 wide like that coming in the corners.
I tell you what, that was a lot of 3 wide. We saw 4 wide action right there. Unfortunately, that will bring out our second caution of the evening.
Yeah, it looks like the 75 of Justin Michael, 48 of Steve Dukes, and the 17 of Andrew Schulte are going to be the ones collected on that. I'm not sure if Nathan Sylvia got on that or not yet.
Well, oftentimes when these situations do arise, you can't do anything but close your eyes. But I tell you what, the number 48 of Steve Dukes doing a wonderful job of looping that Toyota Tundra. Did a complete loop and a 360, spinning around the number 17. Wow, that was a little bit of acrobatics move right there, performed by the number 48 of Steve Dukes.
That was, looks like Nathan Sylvia got maybe a little bit sideways out of that. They were collecting. Justin Michael got into that, got pushed into the wall. They started collecting the other side. Nathan Sylvia, Wally Turheimer, they're collecting as it goes on.
Well, we had some mighty hard racing going on up there in the front with Jason and Johnny. And Nathan, a lot of great racing. Steve Price doing a really good job up there. He got up there to the front fast as he could. Did one heck of a job getting through that pack. Steve Price going into pit row. Going to give up that P1 position.
Now, here in Michigan, you don't usually have a big one like, say, Talladega or Daytona, but I think that was a big one.
Oh, that will be our third caution of the evening. We are on lap 27. Jason Russo, our current race leader, opting to stay out. Haven't got too many tires on this run. Only had about 4 or 5 laps going green right there. So it is very possible Jason Russo may decide to just go on and stay out right now.
Yeah, he has a pretty good mindset. I think I would too at that point, unless I had to lock him down, but I don't think he did.
A lot of drivers going ahead and opting to go into pit row. Number 72, Ivan Garcia, will be going into pit row. Gary Burt in pit row. Johnny Smith getting repaired in pit row.
I think you're going to have a lot of drivers repaired on that. There's quite a few trucks collected on that. Hopefully some of it's very minor. They don't have to use the backup trucks. They still got 2 of them, if not 1, if not 2, and maybe some of them had to use a backup truck because they got collected harder than what we've seen.
User was moved.
Oh, right now I do want to get a quick interview in. KMA's favorite son, number 18, Travis Browder. Talk to me, sir.
Hey, Scott. Hopefully we'll get some green flag pit stops here tonight. Having some fun here, keeping this thing in one piece. And a lot of guys are racing pretty hard this early on in the race, and I'm trying to save my stuff to the end.
All right, well, you are looking good out here tonight. Anybody you want to give a quick shout-out to?
You, Scott, for KMA, all these guys in KMA, and all my teammates for Maximum Velocity. So out here having some fun.
All righty, you're looking very good out here, and good luck to you,
I remember
Travis.
that, Travis.
Thank you, Scott.
User was moved out of your channel.
Now, I didn't know if you know this, Kyle. I'm not sure if our viewers know this, but Travis Browder, he is the official photographer for KMA Racing in the KOA series. He puts up a lot of screenshots for us up there on Facebook and keeps our eyes entertained. Great young man.
Mr. ESPN himself.
Mr. ESPN himself. That is what we call Travis Browder.
Yeah, very good kid. And great driver, great racer. I can't wait to
Still
see
good
him
to
win.
go?
Yeah, light's still on.
All right, one other driver I want to get a quick
User
interview
was moved to
in.
your channel.
KMA's very own number 3, Mark Jackson, tonight in the Grave Digger. How you doing, Mark?
Hey Scott, how you doing, sir?
Oh, pretty good. You are in P3 spot. Talk to us about what is on your mind. We're going to be restarting here on lap 30. That means we got 50 to go. You're in P3. Talk to me.
Well, it's been an interesting race so far. We're honestly mired in the back for there, and so we're going to stay out here with one lap after pitting and had a caution there. So we're just going to try to make it to the end and be safe.
Oh, yeah. What situation is your fuel tank and your tires in here on lap 29?
Well, we pitted one lap before that caution stayed out, so hopefully won't pick up any track rubber or any flying beer cans or anything like that. So I'm trying to make it to the end here, see where we can hopefully get a good finish.
All righty. Well, you are looking very good out there in that PADD.org number 3 Gravedigger truck brought to you by Over the Top Designs and Paints. You're looking sharp.
Thank you, Scotty. Appreciate it.
User was moved out of your channel.
Another good driver right there, and I see him finishing top 5.
Oftentimes it is all about staying out of the trouble here at these, well, pretty much at every track, but he is a very smart driver, full of situational awareness.
Yep, and he's a very pleasant driver to race with as well. Ah, Richie.
Now, I did make a mistake earlier on, and I'm glad I made this mistake because I was wrong. Taken back in pit row, Kerry Cleaver back out on track. I thought Kerry Cleaver's had suffered unsurmountable damage, but Kerry Cleaver, being a trooper, getting out of pit row, going to get back into race 4. Good job, Kerry Cleaver.
Yep, he's only a lap down. If he can stay out of the unfortunate if we have another wreck, he can get his lap back and be a contender again.
Well, he is in that lucky dog position. Now, in order to get that lucky dog, you can't have no damage. Not even a scratch. Not even hitting a chipmunk in the middle of the road. And if you are damage-free, scratch-free under the next caution, and you will get your lucky dog. That's why they call it the lucky dog. Pace car in.
And there goes Jason Russo on that lap pedal really fast.
Well, he knows that he's got some great competition with Steve Price in the number 12. Number 40 of Jeff Ryan up into position 3. Jason and Steve side by side.
Yes, I've been noticing some very tight racing in these corners.
Tell you what, right there, Jason Russo going up, Steve Price going down. Thought I saw sparks fly between those bumpers. Side by side, tighter than a hair.
Touching right there, 14 gets sideways. And
Steve Dutz into Jason Russo. Mighty good save by Jason Russo and another driver back there into the wall. We're still under green flag, ladies and gentlemen.
Very good save, but that just bunched up the pack like crazy. We're 3 wide coming up here to turn 1.
Keeping an eye on Jason Russo, racing side by side with the number 60, and we are under cautions, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to find that on our All-Pro Broadcasting replay and see exactly which vehicle and where triggered our 4th caution of the evening.
65 is involved.
And we do know that the number 65, driven by Sean Brown, he is sitting in the middle of the infield, going for a ride tonight. Taking a look at that on our All-Pro Broadcasting replay.
The Sean Brown, the driver on the wall, he was trying to avoid him, went down way too far, collected the 68. They both were in the grass and got an early winner's circle entrance.
You are absolutely correct on that. Sean Brown, some slight overcompensating, turning that wheel, coming down into Rob Haynes in the number 68. Rob Haynes trying to correct, but being blocked down by the out-of-control truck of the number 65 of Sean Brown. Tough break for Rob Haynes tonight on lap 32. That will bring out our 4th caution, but hey, we are up to 4 lead changes right now. Boys are getting busy here at Michigan.
There's actually 2 more in the wall that was avoiding the wreck. I can't quite find who they were, and I hope that they got out of that pretty clean.
Not sure if Kerry Cleaver will get his lucky dog on that. His truck does look like he did sustain some rear end damage. That being the case, he will not get that lucky dog. Drivers all getting caught up to the pace car. Race leader, Steve Price, position 2, belonging to Mark Jackson. Number 66 of Edward Bray, making his way up to position 3. It'll be interesting to see if these front 3 drivers decide to go into pit row or not.
Backing up that video a little bit more, the 40 and the 55. The 55 went in the wall, the 40 had nowhere to go, and he hit the 55 pretty hard. And it looks like they're both still good. I'm probably going to have to use a reset truck on this, though.
55 driven by Scott Amy. Another very good driver right there. Going to try to get a quick interview here in with Edward Bray.
User was moved
How about it, Edward Bray? Have you got a copy?
How's it going, Scott?
Very good. Exciting race tonight. See you're sitting up there in P3 in that brand new over-the-top paints and designs Flame Silverado. Looking very sharp. But talk to me about your thoughts right now on lap 34 in position 3.
Well, thoughts are trying to save the tires. Tire wear is going to be a big thing this afternoon, and hopefully I can save my tires, bring this thing up to the front, and bring it home for KMA.
Now, how's the competition treating you out here? We're seeing a lot of hard racing up there in the front. Actually saw some door knocking going on. Has everybody been treating you well tonight?
So far, sort of been given a lot, not taking a lot. We got a long race to go, and I want to bring this Chevy Silverado home clean.
All righty, copy that. I do know that John Hedrick with Loose Lug Nuts put a lot of hard work into it. I'd like to see you bring it home clean. Good luck to you, Ed.
Thanks, Scott.
Oops. Wrong number.
User was moved out of your channel.
That was Edward Bray tonight, working with his teammates Bobby Everhart and Donald Stewart. He's got another teammate sitting up there in front of him, Mark Jackson, and he's got a teammate sitting behind him, Ivan Garcia. How important is teammate in regards to the draft come into play tonight, Kyle?
At Michigan, you have a draft. It's not as important. You have your teammates to help you stay up there and race the drivers behind you.
All righty. We are underneath our fourth caution of the evening. That's not too bad, but these drivers do need to keep in mind that we are still looking at 80 laps tonight. Time to get down to some green flag pit stops. At least that is our choice. Big shout out to all the viewers out there with All Pro Broadcasting on YouTube. We've got Michelle, we've got Becky, we've got several others out there. Give us a like on YouTube. Look for All Pro Broadcasting Network. Are we on 2 to go?
This time, no. It should be one time.
We are
one to
coming to 1 to go. Brian Rainville out here representing Premier Race Network, holding very solid in P5. Bobby Everhart driving the Coma Unwind, number 71, P6. Pro Automotive's Jason Ruscio going to be restarting in P7 with Travis Browder in P8.
And you got your pace leader at the 12 of Stephen Price in first, and Mark Jackson starting right above him second.
I tell you what, this will be our most exciting restart of the night. We've been watching Steve Price. I don't think he has dropped below P4 tonight. Mark Jackson doing a very good job, but Mark Jackson is one of the heavy hitters here, and he's got his teammate, number 66. So I guarantee you, these brothers will be working together, working hard to get around Steve Price.
Man. I've seen a lot of the lead trucks here drop back down to 20th and around 15 to 20th and below. I'm wondering if they're trying to plan something to come up here at the end.
Well, Johnny Smith and Justin Michaels sitting in P19 and P20. You know, that is an interesting situation. Everybody wants to be up in the front, but there is a time within racing. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to be in front. You got to know when to be in back. They could very easily be planning an early pit stop, possibly saying, hey, let's drop to that back. Pace car is in, and Steve Price on the hammer.
He wasted no time at all right there to get going.
Putting on the afterburners. There goes Steve Price, smoking the field.
And he's got a good jump on that, and here at Michigan, that's always a good thing to have a good jump.
Well, he has got about a third of a second lead off of Mark Jackson. Big wipeout, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to take a look and see what happened. We do know that the Bobby Everhart in the number 71 coming down. Going to take a look at that on our replay. Wicked caution here tonight.
It kind of looks like he too much side draft and sucked into him and spun him around.
Well, that did involve the number 71 of Bobby Everhart and the number 60 of PRN's Brian Rainville. I tell you what, I cannot tell who might have been at fault on that. Looks like some pretty hard racing. Basically looks like the two trucks just somewhere met in the middle, and these trucks just touched, sending Brian Rainville into the wall. Chad Roy in the number 81 being caught up into Brian Rainville. Unfortunate break for Brian Rainville tonight, and Bobby Everhart on lap 37.
And the 07 of Wesley Whitefield. He got hit pretty hard coming up to that wall. Again, it looks like we had a little contact below that someone got rear-ended and thrown into the grass, into the wall.
Well, there was nowhere that the 07 could drive. The pad truck taking a little bit of damage right there. Wesley Whitfield driving for All-Pro as Bobby Everhart's rear end was fishtailing back up into the track. Nothing Wesley could do but close his eyes and hang on for the ride.
That's racing. A lot of times when you are involved in a wreck, you have no regret. There's nothing you can do about it. You just hold on for the ride. And that's racing.
That is racing. And, you got to take the lumps here if you're getting willing to get behind the wheel of that Silverado or Toyota kind of truck. You're taking a risk anytime you do that, and things are going to happen out here on the Speedway. Or, in fact, on any track. I was hoping for a little bit fewer cautions tonight here at Michigan, but I tell you what, nobody's making it easy. You're going to have to work for it if you want to win it tonight. This is big boy racing here in race 4.
Yeah.
KOA series.
Lap 39 of 80, going on a fourth caution. Yeah, a little heavy on cautions, yeah, but it's still not that bad. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, it's still pretty good. And I just see Kerry Cleaver got his lucky dog.
A lot of great racing tonight. Steve Price,
really
tonight's
quiet,
dominator. It was Mark Jackson, but not Mark Jackson. It was Justin Michael, but Steve Price right now dominating.
And it looks like he's got some of his teammates behind him as well. So he's got three teammates behind him.
All right, we are going to take a very brief commercial break, ladies and gentlemen.
Cool. I'm gonna go to the bathroom really fast.
Yeah. So that last one was by Bobby and Brian Rainville. And I'm not so sure that Bobby wasn't the initiator. Yeah, I got it. Tell you what, Steve Price was like banging on Jason, man. He's... Yeah.
All right, how we looking?
Okay, we're back.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on lap 40 of race 4 of the KOA series, brought to you by KMA Racing, All Pro Broadcasting, in association with Ad Motorsports. Check them out at padd.org. Our current race leader on lap 40, Steve Price Jr. I tell you what, he's been working his tires to the bone tonight, doing a very great job. Mark Jackson sitting in P3. Edward Bray, number 66, P4. Ivan Garcia running solid in P4. Travis Browder, number 18, P5. Rounding out your 6 through 10 is Jason Russo, Gary Burt, Chad Roy, Landon Ciradillo, and the number 77 of Jack Watts.
That's the name we hear a lot right there is the 18 of Travis Browder sitting in P5. I think he might start making his move to P1 and start leading some of these laps.
Well, we are at the halfway point. We've had 5 cautions and 4 lead changes. Michigan proven to be just a tad bit more difficult on the tires than what we were initially expecting.
Yeah, from the last time I raced here, it can get tight to loose really fast and loose to tight. It's definitely a weird track to race sometimes.
Now, next week, I do believe that in race number 5, we are going to be heading off to Auto Club.
Yeah.
We will be running the Impala Bees at Auto Club next week. That is going to be a very exciting race. The week after that, instead of turning left, we're going to be turning right. We are heading for Watkins Glen in race 6. Now, that one there is going to be very interesting.
Yep, no more left turns. You got your left and your right-hand turns. You got to turn your wheel a whole different way.
Well, and I don't know about you, but me, myself, I don't think I've ever turned these vehicles to the right. We're left turn, oval, super speedway. Gentlemen, pace car is in. Steve Price
on that pedal.
On that hammer. Look at Steve Price Jr. go. Mark Jackson hot on his heels. Edward Bray getting up there, wanting some, being pushed on by Browder.
Travis Browder was pushing Edward Bray there pretty hard there coming off the start. Edward Bray looks like he's going to try to take Mark Jackson on the inside. It looks like he's going to slow up a little bit. Travis Browder's going to go to the high side of Edward Bray on the 66 and try to take him off on the high side.
All right, looks like Travis Browder has got a run, pulling off the draft up the Gravedigger, number 3, Mark Jackson. Going to get the slight edge on Edward Bray as they come into the corners, and there goes Travis.
Going to the high side, going to try to take the 3 of Mark Jackson on the high side on this.
I tell you what, I think he can do it. I think Travis Browder can do it right now, going after Mark Jackson.
Yeah, if he keeps Mark Jackson on that low side, he's going to take him right there, and he's going to go high to low and stay in front of him.
Well, I tell you what, he did it. And now Steve Price Jr. is the next on the Travis Browder to-do list on number 43, lap 43.
Yeah, and Steve Price has got to worry about who's coming up behind him because with Travis Browder back there, I think he's going to catch him pretty fast and try to take him. And Jason Russo just got Mark Jackson on the low side, and along with about to go 3 wide with the 66 Edward Bray and the 81. 3 wide right now with Mark Jackson coming to the tri-oval.
Chad Roy going to the front, and Chad Roy down in front of Edward Bray. Well, has Edward Bray got damage, or is Edward Bray just backing up and taking her easy? Nonetheless, Chad Roy hot on the heels of Jason Russo.
It looks like the 18 of Travis Browder is closing that gap on the 12 of Steve Price right now coming up on the back straight.
And we are underneath our 6th caution of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Going to find out what happened on our All Pro Broadcasting replay. We do know that the number 5 of Gary Whitmer unfortunately caught up into that. Gary Whitmer up against the wall along with Donald Stewart going into the grass.
Ooh.
Backing up our cameras too, Gary Whitmer, going to find out exactly what went wrong on lap 44.
Looks like they're coming to the turn, kind of met in the middle. Got loose, and 43 went down low. The 5 went down low, saved it, came back up, and hit the 78, putting him into a wild spin.
Does indeed appear that Gary Whitmer in the number 5 coming into contact with the number 43 driven by Rusty Farrell, sending both drivers off into the grass, and as the number 5 comes back up onto the track into the pathway of the number 78. 78 driven by Donald Stewart. Unfortunate break tonight on lap 44. Gary Whitmer going for a ride in the number 5 no tech zone pad truck.
Yeah, watching that when the 5 hits the 78 Donald Stewart hits that wall hard, but he gets so much air that it looks like he collected no one else and just went over everyone down to the infield.
A little bit of a aerobatic movement right there. Gary Whitmer very heavily damaged trying to limp the Chevy Silverado pad truck back into pit row. Not sure if he's going to make it or not. He may have to call out for the wrecker as he is rolling along, and it comes to a dead stop. All right, time to call the wrecker for Gary Whitmer. Unfortunate break.
It's never a good day when you got to call that wrecker.
Now we do have Steve Price Jr., Travis Browder, Chad Roy up there into position 3 on lap 46. Now Chad Roy, we have not talked about Chad Roy yet tonight. Doing a very good job in the number 81 Curb Green Chevy Silverado.
You got that 23 truck getting that lucky dog. The 23 of Donald Sadusky is back on the lead lap now.
Alrighty, good job too. Donald Sadusky also sporting out that new KMA paint job brought to you by Over the Top Paints and Designs. Congratulations on the lucky dog, Donald Stewart.
Donald Sadusky, the 23.
Thank you.
Yep.
Joining us in the booth is our position 3, Chad Roy, in the number 81. Have you got a copy, Chad?
Yes, sir.
All righty, glad to see you finally made it up there into the front. You've been working hard all night. Talk to me about what your plan is from here on out.
The plan is basically, I don't know. I'm going to try and do what these two ahead of me are going to do, because I think we're on the same fuel strategy. I got a little bit older tires, but be able to hang out here in the top 5, somewhere in there.
So you're thinking about just staying out and keeping that P3 position instead of going in for fresh tires?
Up to now, yeah. I mean, it's been a little heavy on the caution, so I'm not sure whether to go in, give up the position or not, or just wait. But right now, I think I'm all right. I can hang out here for a bit. I haven't really figured out how much fuel I can, or how many laps I could run on a tank of fuel, so not quite sure what to do. So just kind of winging it.
All right, well, we'll let you work that out with your spotter. Looking good out here tonight in the number 81 Green Flag Racing with Chad Roy. Good luck to you, Chad.
Thanks, Scott.
Do you have any idea how much Wilkins Glen is going to be a pain in the ass for us?
Mm-hmm. Now we still do have 33 drivers on the lead lap. Jeff Ryan out here representing Unacceptable Racing, sitting in 33rd spot.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did the top 5 not pay on this caution?
No, sir. I think these drivers might be taking a little bit of a gamble here. Unfortunately, they may be preparing up for another caution that's soon to be. That might be the train of thought they're on. Now, if that is the case, Kyle, that could come back and bite them in the tailgate.
I was just about to say that can come back and bite you hard. Because if you're playing on a caution, that caution does not come out. Now you're forced to a green flag pit stop way before all the other drivers behind you pitted. So you're going to give up your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because you decided to gamble on a caution.
Very risky decision making right there. Now we are looking at about a 25 lap fuel window, so no driver right now, if they pitted, they still cannot make it. They would be looking at going back in at about lap 73, which is going to leave them about 7 laps short. What we will possibly see, though, is once these drivers get up there to about lap 55, all they got to do is get into the frame of mind, Kyle. 7 more laps, and I am heading into pit row, make a successful green flag pit stop And if there are no more cautions, I'm going to be the fella that's got enough fuel to bring home the win tonight. A lot of gambling out here.
Gambling can pay off. As you seen last Sunday, me and Johnny Smith gambled on our field, and it ended up working out to the benefit. But this driver is still going to have at least another pit stop, and I'm still curious if staying out on this caution was the best idea.
Now, I tell you what, I had mentioned earlier on a restart, it was going to be the most exciting one yet, but I think this one here will be the restart of all time. We've got Steve Price and Travis Browder side by side, two heavy hitters on the same communication channel. And I bet you 10-1, one's going to say go, and they're both going to be off like rocket sleds.
Yep, and then you got the Chad Roy and Edward Bray next to each other. Then Landon and Steve, them two are on the same channel. You got Johnny Smith behind Steve, and they're on the same channel. So it's going to be an interesting restart.
There's going to be a lot of teamwork. There they go, Steve Price, Travis Browder, amazing start.
Yeah, it looks like Steve Price just got like a half split second on the Travis Browder on that start.
But I tell you what,
we're
looking at 5-6 truck lengths away, up to almost a half a second off a third spot, Edward Bray. Edward Bray, Chad Roy, side by side. Chad Roy overtaking Edward Bray.
Yep, Steve Price and Travis Browder got a great start on that. They're going to race each other for the front here, it looks like, but they got a good, nice lead on 3-4. Travis Browder taking Steve Price on the inside, and it looks like he's going to take him on this lap to lead this lap.
Dropping back a couple of spots to the number 48 of Steve Deutsch, racing pretty hard with Landon Ciradella.
81 of Chad Roy is catching back up to the front too, and he's very close to him now, and he's a contender to take the way at this spot of the 12 of Steve Price.
Well, I tell you what, Kyle, this entire pack is starting to gain momentum up there on our race leaders. Here in a couple of laps, we're going to be 7, 8, 9, possibly 10 deep. The Chad Roy has caught the tail end of Steve Price Jr. and Travis Browder.
Yeah, it looks like the 21 Landon, the 48 of Steve Deutsch, and the rest of the pack are right on their bumper, knocking on that door to take over that spot.
Yes, sir. So all that hard work on that restart by Travis and Steve Price, well, it paid off for him for about 3 laps. Right now, it is not paying off, as Chad Roy actually going underneath Steve Price, knocking on the rear end of Travis Browder's tailgate.
Yep, I see Chad Roy on the inside of Steve Price right now, and he's slowly falling back, but I think he's going to get him. No, he's falling back a lot now. I'm not sure what's going to happen.
We are underneath caution. We do know that the number 5 of Gary Whitmer was caught up into it. We're going to check that out on our All-Pro Broadcasting replay. Do you know that the number 55 of Scott Amy was caught up into it as well?
Looks like the three of Mike Jackson, the 91 Joel Guy, and the 5 of Gary Whitmore, they all came kind of a 3 wide into the turn, all kind of collected into each other. The 3 coming down low and 91 coming down low to avoid 3, and then the 5 of Gary Whitmore kind of just collecting the rear end of them. So.
And that will bring out our 7th caution of the evening. Number 91, Joel Guy. Number 3, Mark Jackson getting connected. Gary Whitmer taking another unfortunate hit tonight in the KOA Race 4. I tell you what, Gary Whitmer, one of the finer drivers here at KMA Racing, but tonight just not having a very good night tonight, seeming to be in the wrong place at the wrong time every time. Hate it when that happens, Kyle.
Nope, and that's really unfortunate, and it looks like the 55 of Scott Amy damage was too far to contain, and he had to take it behind the wall and out of this race. The 004 of Michael Johnson was collected in that also a little bit, but I think he might have another backup truck.
I do believe you're right. Now up here in the front, not much changing up here in the front. We see Travis Browder and Steve Price going into pit row, taking tires, being smart on that.
Yeah, that was probably the reason why they stayed out last time, expecting an early caution.
Now, right now, at this point in time, if they do choose to stay out, they still will not make it. We talk about gentlemen that go in with 2 to go. They'll actually be up there in the front of the pack, and they'll give up that position. In this scenario, go in, 2 to go. They will drop to the rear of the pack. Now, what that does to them, Kyle, is if it goes caution-free, because they went in, got fuel with 2 to go, dropped to the back, they have more fuel than the race leaders. They do not have to pit. The race leaders do have to pit. So strategy right here is critical.
Yeah, it is. And if they're pitting now, they still have the opportunity, like you said, to pit 2 to go. That can top them back off. And they can ease off, save fuel, and then when the leaders pit that did not go in 2 to go, they can hot dog it and get back way up front and take it to the win without more. I'm dying.
So it will be interesting to see what the number 18 of Travis Browder does. He was on that pole position. Right now he is back in position 21 along with Jack Watts. Position 22, Cody Lipster sitting in position 23. Hey, let's get a quick interview in with Cody Lipster. How about it, Cody? Have you got a copy, sir?
Yes, sir, I do.
All righty. Now you're sitting back there in P23. Kyle and I were talking about going in on 2 to go. Will you have enough fuel to make it? And what is your strategy right now on lap 53?
Really right now, I don't know what the fuel mileage is of these things, but I was thinking about topping off and maybe getting that little extra bit of fuel, but at the same time, I really like this track position, trying to gain as much as possible. It's not easy to pass out here right now. I mean, especially with the way these trucks are handling. It's a little bit tight, a little bit loose, and then anything in between. Really need to get a good long green flag run in, but until that starts happening, might end up having to stay out for track position.
All righty, copy that. And are all the company you keep, the drivers out here, they treating you good tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I love coming out here and being able to race a clean race against everybody. I mean, all the Max V, the KMA, and everybody in between, too. I mean, it's just so much fun.
All righty, glad to hear it, and good luck to you, Cody.
Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
Our current race leader, number 61 of Brad Ream.
User was
How
moved to
about
your
it,
channel.
Brad? Have you got a copy?
Yeah, Scott, I got a copy here. How's it going?
Very good. You're up there in that P1, looking good in that monster Silverado. Talk to me about your race.
Well, I got to be honest, I never would have thought pit strategy would have played here at Michigan, but I was fully expecting a fuel strategy run, but we've played the cards, and we're up front here, and we'll see how long that'll last. What the tires we're on, we're fully prepared to race, and if we got to give and take, we'll give and take.
Now, have you got enough fuel to make it from here on out, do you think?
Yeah, according to crew chief, we're set to go to the end of the race, and the way the caution's been flying, I don't think fuel is going to be an issue.
All right, so right now what you're telling me is you're up there in P1 and you're not going to let it go.
Ever. He sounds like he's like on the news.
The only way I'm going to let it go is somebody's actually faster than me. We still have a lot of racing to go here, and I'm not willing to fight too hard for the lead. But
I need a radio voice.
Hey, you know, we're going to do what we got to do.
Yes, sir. Looking good. Thank you for representing KMA out here tonight, and good luck to you, Brad Ream.
Radio voice.
Thank you, Scott, and I'd like to thank a shout out to my sponsor for celebrating my 45th birthday here with KMA.
All righty, good deal.
Happy
birthday and all that.
Well, that'll all be determined by the wife later on this evening.
Copy that. I hope to see you in the winner's circle tonight, and then have a good night.
Thank you, sir. If not, we'll be fighting for points one way or another.
Yes, sir. A lot of racing yet to go.
Yeah, the pace car lights are off.
User was
You
moved
got
out of your channel.
Brad Ream in the first, second of the 17, Andrew Schulte third of the 87, Justin Michael, and fourth, Wally Turnheimer, the fifth of Ivan Garcia. God, it's tough.
Wally Tierheimer sitting up there in P4. I know Wally's mom is watching. We're going to keep our eyes on Wally, and hopefully Wally will put on a good show for Mom tonight. Pace car in.
Justin Michael on the back bumper of Brad Ream, and Brad Ream's now got the good start on Andrew Schulte. They're side by side coming to that line with Justin Michael and Wally Turnheimer side by side. They're looking about the same, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Tell you what, amazing restart right there by Brad Ream.
Now, as we were saying earlier, Justin Michael, Wally Turnheimer, they're back in 1920th, and now they're back up here in 3-4.
Andrew Schulte doing a crossover move down onto the inside against Brad Ream, getting Brad Ream up into that high lane. Here comes Andrew. Underneath Brad, want to take position side by side, tighter than a hair in a biscuit.
Yeah, getting a little close. Andrew Schultz is going to take that low side, going to make it stick and take off that lead off Brad.
I tell you what, another crossover by Justin Michael coming across the rear end of Brad Ream. No contact. The excellence of execution right there with Justin Michael. Brad Ream back with a crossover, returning the favor on the number 17, wanting to get his position back.
Yeah, now they're all teammates too, so I'm kind of curious how this is going to work out.
All right, now, Brad Ream feeling the pressure of the maximum velocity top three. We are underneath another caution, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on.
Going to back it up on our all-pro broadcasting replay. We are thinking that might have been involving the 146, but I'm not sure. I do believe Kenny Wright might have been involved in it.
Kenny Wright.
Actually, I am wrong. Taking a look at Chris Voiles in the number 28. Chris Voiles going for a spin as he is making contact with the number 65. Number 65 driven by Sean M. Brown. Does appear that the number 28 of Chris Voiles drifting up, getting into Sean Brown, putting Sean Brown to the wall. Number 146, Kenneth Wright, actually sliding right by it. Not so fortunate for Chris Voiles. Ivan Garcia trying to avoid Chris, but Ivan Garcia sliding off, taking front end damage.
Yeah, I pretty much see the same thing. Chris Voiles of the 28 went a lot higher than and a lot faster than the 65 was expecting.
Well, that will bring out our 8th caution of the evening. We have had 7 lead changes. A lot of great driving going on tonight, but unfortunately this is Michigan, and we are sliding high.
And I'm curious on pit strategy right now.
Well, we were talking about pit strategy, and right now, if these drivers do hit into pit row, they certainly will be able to make it home free. Justin Michael back up to the front, sitting in position 2. Brad Ream in position 3. Wally Tierheimer sitting in P4.
Yeah, as you were saying, if they pit in, they can top off and be 100% sure that they're going to finish this race on fuel, with plenty of fuel left to go. But can some of these drivers shut their trucks off and save the fuel enough to finish this race on what they have?
You know, I do not believe they can. I just believe that would be a very huge challenge to do that. I believe it would be risky. And not only that, we cannot forget about the tire wear factor. Now, even after 5 laps of green flag racing, your tires are going to feel the pressure. If it was me out there, I'd tell you what, Cal, I'd be in, topping off, getting 4 fresh rubber. We talk about go time. We're going to have, about 17 laps to go. I'm thinking it is go time, risk of another caution or not. I want to get to the front of this pack fast as I can. I want to stay in front of this pack. If that caution does come out again, as long as it don't come out around me in the front of that pack, I am good to go.
Oh, I agree with you on that, but we're at lap 59, about to come up to 60, so we got 20 more laps to go. I mean, you can definitely make that on your tires. And the fuel is my biggest issue. Not so much. I mean, yeah, you have your tire wear, you have your issues with the tire, but I'm more worried about fuel at this point. No one we've interviewed has known how far their trucks can go on a full tank around.
User was moved.
Well, I tell you what, let's ask our current race leader, Andrew Schulte. Go ahead and talk to him, Kyle.
How's it going, Schulte? Kyle up in here.
How's it going, bud?
How's your race going? How are you feeling on fuel?
Race is going good. Finally are sitting on top of the board. Fuel, I haven't been paying much attention to it. Hoping to get a late race caution to come in and top off and get tires.
So, your pit strategy isn't a late caution. How's everyone been treating you? I know you got Justin Michael and Wally Turnheimer behind you, 2 teammates, so that's looking good for you on this restart.
Yeah, it's been pretty racy. It seems like people have been a little too aggressive, especially early on in the race, but hopefully it settles down a little bit and it'd be nice to finish out green here.
Wrap him up.
Yeah, and that sounds like a good plan, and hopefully see you in this winner's circle tonight at Michigan.
Thank you, sir.
We on to go yet?
No.
User was moved out of your channel.
Alrighty, I want to get one more interview with a very special driver out here tonight. How about it, Wally Tierheimer? Have you got a copy?
I do. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing really good. I wanted to make sure I got you interviewed in here. We've got Martha Tierheimer, Mom, watching you. Talk to us.
Well, hello, Mom. How are we tonight? I hope she's happy that I'm up in the 4th position right now. A little pit strategy. I didn't pit on the not last caution, but the one before. A little bit of track position right now is really important, and we were kind of pulling ahead there, pulling away. So it looked like it was working until we had this caution here. So I'm just trying to be patient here.
All right, and you are good to go on fuel?
If we have some cautions, I am.
All righty, well, we're hoping not to see any more cautions, but hey, just wanted to make sure that we got you and Mom Tierheimer. Big shout out tonight. Good luck to you, Wally.
All right, man. Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Kyle.
User was moved
Yeah,
out of your channel.
that's another great driver. He always cracks me up. I love racing with him.
Wally Tierheimer, he is a man of stature. He is one of the gentlemen that helped me put this KOA series together. One of the admins with Maximum Velocity. And the guy that I call Burger Boy. Big shout out to Wally and Hardee's.
And someone you can call a good friend.
He is. He's a great driver. A lot of great drivers out here tonight. A lot of great friends.
Yeah,
I tell you what, the heat is on right now.
I think I call just about everyone in this field right now a good friend.
And I tell you what, right there, getting a little emotional. We got some great guys. We got some great friends. And iRacing, it's more than a simulator. It is a family. We get real tight racing with one another every night. We've got our fans. We've got our broadcasters. We've got the announcers. We got our racing. We got our moms involved, our dads involved. We are family here at All Pro Broadcasting. Pace car in.
Pace car in. Andrew holding off. He's going, taking off with the 87. Justin Mike to the side of him. While Tierheimer is going to end up pushing the 87. Maybe able to hear a little bit here in a second.
Couple trucks back. Nathan Sylvia taking a rear-end collision right there. We are good to go. Back up into the front. That's where the action is in the front. Andrew Schulte running for his life, being chased down by Brad Ream and Justin Michael.
The 87 and the 61 of Brad Ream, they got really close. A little bit of trading paint right there coming off. I thought for sure that something was going to happen, but they held their own and keeping it close and keeping it tight and good racing.
I tell you what, it is go time if we ever had go time to come.
Yep, we are in 12 laps? No.
We're on lap 62. We are on lap 62
laps.
of race 4.
That sucks.
Looking at about 17 laps to go. Number 17, Andrew Schulte up in P1 position. Brad Ream, P2, number 61, fighting hard. Trying to hold off the 87 of Justin Michael. Justin Michael getting down on the inside. Almost touching.
87 Justin Michael is a hard driver to hold off, too. And he's doing a good job until Justin Michael decided to take the low side and take him on the inside and keep him up high so he can get that better run off that turn.
And here goes Wally Tierheimer getting past number 61 of Brad Ream. Wally Tierheimer moving on up into position 3 with 16 laps to go.
Yep, Wally Tierheimer holding on to his teammate, the 87 Justin Michael, holding into that draft in that corner so he can get around the 61 Brad. Yeah.
Well, let's not give up on KMA's Pro Automotive. Jason Russo in the number 14 starting to overtake Brad Ream as well. Possibility of Brad Ream burning up those tires early on that restart. Trying to get underneath Wally.
Here comes Jason Russo.
Coming underneath, Jason Russo will be taken P4 away from Brad Ream.
Yeah, I thought Jason Russo was going to actually take away a third spot from Wally Tierheimer there for a second.
Well, I tell you what, we cannot count out Jason Russo. Very fine racer here at Michigan, racing hard with the number 57 of Wally Tierheimer, racing for position 4 and 3.
No, and it looks like Jason Russo, the 14, is actually picking up time every lap he goes by.
Now back up to the front, we've got Andrew Schulte and Justin Michael, and they are well over half a second ahead of Wally.
Yeah, and Justin Michael's got the best lap time right now at 39.1, but Jason Russo, he's got a 39.3, and he's going to end up catching him if he keeps up on this and can keep going.
Jason Russo with a slight edge on Wally Tierheimer. Right now it is coming down to track control and tire wear. You don't want to burn them up quite yet, do you, Kyle?
No, you don't. And Jason Russo, he's racing hard, and I'm worrying about his tires a little bit. Along with the 87 Justin Michael, he's racing pretty hard too.
Right now, Andrew Schultz is still in P1. Nose to tail with the 87 of Justin Michael. Now, Justin Michael wins a lot here. Justin Michael, a very controlled driver, a very effective driver. Justin Michael, possibly in the frame of mind, I'm just going to sit here. I got this. It's nothing but a day at the beach here at Michigan. And we're going to let Andrew Schultz think he's got it in the bag. But Justin Michael is in pounce position on lap 67.
Yeah, it looks like he's about to pounce right here coming in turn 3 and 4.
And there goes the big cat. He's pouncing side by side in front, racing with Andrew Schulte, possibly going to lead lap 68, making forward progress. And Justin Michael off to the races.
Clears the 17 truck, and he's going to take that lead.
Justin Michael is our race leader on lap 68. Now that puts a little bit more pressure on Andrew Schulte. Do you think Andrew Schultz is going to get that P1 spot back?
Looking at these lap times, not at this moment, but he can very possibly.
Now, something these drivers have to be very careful about. Let's not turn each other, racing one another.
Yeah, it looks like they're touching right there.
Now, I tell you what, I tell my drivers over here at KMA, Kyle, I've got a phrase I use. Race with me, don't race against me, at least not until the last lap.
Or, the last 5.
Maybe the last 7.
Yeah, maybe 10. It depends. I'm watching the 14 right now with Jason Russo, and he's not losing much time. He's gaining on these two leaders right now, and you got that lap traffic up there, and I'm wondering how that's going to play in favor of Jason Russo at the 14.
Well, normally with the lap traffic will go high, but here at Michigan, when we are running more of a qualifying line, these drivers are in and out, up and down. Oftentimes, lap traffic may not know exactly where to go other than to stay out the way.
I still think the high line is still the way to stay out of the line. And Jason Russo, it's the fastest truck in the top 3 right now. So he is catching them.
He's got it down from 800 down to 700ths of a second. But he has still got a ways to go. We are on
the lap car just spun it.
And we are looking at the lap traffic. Is that the number 91?
I can't tell. I think so.
We're trying to get a number on the lap traffic vehicle.
91 of Joel Guy spun around coming out 2.
Unfortunate break for these drivers here, as the number 91 of Joel Guy does loop it, bringing out our 9th caution of the night. We're going to rewind that, take a look at what happened with Joel Guy. Appears he was trying to get down onto that apron, but as he did, the rear end just kind of came out from underneath him. Did a couple of sweet-looking donuts, actually did triple donuts. Justin Michael barely eking by. Not sure if contact was made with the 87 of Justin Michael or not.
Yeah, it looks like 91 Joel Guy got loose trying to pull it down to get it out of the way of the lead traffic. And, when your rear end gets loose like that, there's some things you cannot do about it.
Well, I tell you what, we were talking about oftentimes lap traffic not knowing quite where to go. Now, even though Joel Guy might have been responsible for that, I've got a lot of respect for Joel Guy. He's an up-and-coming driver here with KMA Racing. And I tell you what, looking at it from the eye in the sky, the rear end just came out from underneath him. I do believe that most drivers did clear him.
Yeah, the only issue of clearing him was the 78 Donald Stewart. It looks like he saw him up there on the high side, stopped, and he locked him down, lost a little bit, but he cleared everything. I think he might have to come in for some new tires, though.
Very possibly so. That will bring out our 9th caution of the night. We have had 8 lead changes. Mighty exciting racing. Unfortunately, not going to see any green flag pit stops tonight in race 4 of the KOA series here at Michigan. Sometimes that is the nature of the game. What do you think is going to happen when these boys go green? They're going to have 5, 6 laps to get her done.
Well, Justin Michael stayed out. I don't recall. I think he stayed out last run too, did he not? And I think he's trying to play a field run right now.
All right, well, I tell you what, let's get one driver interview up here that's been working very hard all night. We're looking at the number 48 of Steve Dutch. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All righty, well, you are looking sharp out there in that Tide Chevy Silverado. You've been working your rear end axles off tonight. It's paying off. You're up here in position 6. It's go time, Steve. Can you get to the front in 6 laps?
Oh man, we're gonna try our hardest, dude. It's all real hard to get up to the front here, but I think we're gonna try to run the outside all the way around this track and see if we can get up to the front.
Well, looking at it tonight, it has been all about the restarts, and I can guarantee you, Justin Michaels is going to be on that loud paddle. Jason Russo is going to be on that loud pedal, and Wally, Chad, Andrew, are you going to be on that loud paddle, or do you think there might be one more late caution and you're going to whip through it and win tonight?
I'm gonna put my foot to the right foot to the floor and see if I can get past these guys. Go on the loud pedal, see if I can beat these guys or anything.
All right, well, you are looking sharp out there in the Tide truck. Talk to us about your Tide truck.
Oh, it's good. It's handling pretty good. We're a little tight on the long runs, but everybody's seeming that they're a little too tight on the long runs. But Tide does miracles too, the stains on clothes and everything, so it's going to be really good. I hope we can get up to the front and win this.
All right, that's funny stuff right there. All right, good luck to you.
I got a quick question for you, really fast, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Have you pitted any time in the last 2 cautions?
No.
So you're out there in old tires, and do you think you're gonna make this on fuel?
Oh yeah, we're fine on fuel to the end. Jay Michael's probably gonna be good on fuel to the end. All those guys that stayed out after we went in, I think we're gonna be pretty good on the end to the fuel.
Sounds good, and good luck to you. I actually hope to see you to victory lane with your Michigan native and home track.
Thank you.
All right, good job, G.
Sorry.
User was moved out of your
No, that's fine. Are we on one to go yet?
Later on, one to go. This time by should be.
All righty, one more quick broadcast interview right here. How about it, J.R. Johnson?
Hey, how you doing, Scott?
I wanted to grab you up here in the booth real quick. Talk to us very briefly about tomorrow night's Father's Rights Movement.
Yeah, it's the Father's Rights Movement. They deal with parental alienation, 50-50 rights, all that other stuff. They lobby. Sorry, I got someone else in my ear here.
All good. So you are going to be, you're the guy that helped me arrange that for tomorrow night. That will be the Father's Rights Movement. Going to be a great race tomorrow night. Live broadcast by All Pro Broadcasting. Basically wanted to say thank you and to tell you I will be there tomorrow night. You will be there tonight. We're going to have all the dads out there tonight fighting for the Father's Rights Movement 300.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. It's going to be a great race and look forward to everybody being there.
Yes, sir, and good luck to you tonight.
Thank you, buddy.
User was moved out of your channel.
All righty, and that JR is J.R. Johnson. We are going to get back to green flag racing momentarily, ladies and gentlemen. A little heavy on the cautions tonight, but that is the nature of the beast that we love and do every night of the week here within the iRacing community. 8 lead changes, our current race leader. Justin Michael, Andrew Schulte, Jason Russo, P3. Who you putting your money on, Kyle?
This is a hard one. I'm going to give it to Steve Dutz at the 48.
You're thinking Steve Dutz 48. I am thinking possibly the number 14 of Jason Russo. But Justin Michael, I tell you what, obviously he did not pit, so his tires have got a little bit of use and abuse on them. I don't know. This is going to come down to tire wear. Going to be an exciting 5 laps.
Yes, it is, and Justin Michael really knows how to control that truck, so it's going to definitely be interesting. The pace cars and Schulte try to get that jump, and 87 now, and 87, 17 now, and a lot of people trying to break away from that pack early.
Little rear end collision there with 3, 4, and 5. Definitely great start out there by Justin and Andrew.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of double wide, almost 3 wide, not quite, but they're thinking about it. a lot of good racing back behind the leader of 87, Justin Michael.
Well, I tell you what, Chad Roy not going to lay down for this one here, nor is Wally or Jason Russo. But all the action up there in P1 and P2 is Andrew Schulte, Justin Michael. Here comes the Pro Automotive, Jason Russo, hot on the heels in P3.
It looks like Schulte is going to try to take the inside. He's probably going to end up taking the lead coming off 1 and 2 from Justin Michael.
He will take that lead. He will lead lap 76. Justin Michael almost looked like he got into the wall. Here comes Justin Michael side by side.
Don't count Jason Russo. They got a little bit of contact right there, but they're still good. And Jason Russo still going. Justin Michael still going.
That's going to slow Jason Russo down, though. He did just barely nick the rear end of Justin Michael. And that will allow Chad Roy position advancement. But here comes Jason Russo backing up, popping that gear, and away goes Jason back up.
Definitely not counting out Jason Russo. He has been really strong tonight, and he knows how to run this track.
And I tell you right now, lap 77, 3 to go. Can you feel the love? Well, I tell you what, you are not going to feel the love because right now we are 3 to go. Side by side, Jason Russo, Justin Michael.
You got a wreck back there in middle of turn 2 and 3. I don't think they brought out the caution. It looks like they stay low.
Yep, nope, we are under caution. We're going to back that up on our All-Pro Broadcasting replay and take a look at exactly what happened.
That's going to call the race, isn't it?
Yep. We do know that Nathan Sylvia caught up into it, as well as Jack Watts in the number 77. Appears that Nathan Sylvia going for a ride after the 37 of J.R. Johnson. Taking a look at the number 37, J.R. Johnson might be the instigator. Taking a look at that on our All-Pro Broadcasting replay, appears that J.R. Johnson having to check up to get out from underneath the rear end of the 71 of Bobby Everhart. And J.R. Johnson, truck actually just taking a jump sideways. You know what, Kyle? I'm looking at it over and over. That one there, that has got to be net code the way the number 37 jumped sideways.
Exactly what I see. Like, he bumped a little bit of the truck in front of him, but if you're bumping in a turn, you're not going to turn yourself like that. You're going to turn the truck in front of you. So that was definitely net code on that one.
Now, to those drivers, to the viewers out there that do not understand what net code is, what that is information packets are sent online through this great thing we've got known as the internet, and sometimes those packets fail to communicate with other packets, and oftentimes we will see a truck just jump sideways. It's like the hand of God himself come down, picked up that vehicle, turned it sideways on a 90-degree turn. J.R. Johnson, a victim of net code tonight. Now, will this seal the deal, Kyle? Will this seal the deal?
We're 79 right now. Pitch car lights are still on. We're not going to have a green-white checker. This is going to seal the deal.
This is over?
Yes, this race is over.
All righty. All right, well, we are going to take one more lap just to ensure that. But if that is the case, our race winners tonight would be Andrew Schulte in the number 17. Justin Michael would bring home P2. Jason Russo, P3. But we are waiting for track confirmation. While we're waiting on that confirmation, give us some feedback.
It was a really enjoyable race.
Are we confirmed? Is this it?
It should be. I wish it was a little less heavy on cautions. Some green flag pit stops at Michigan could have really changed this whole race up a lot. You got, your strong guys in the front, Andrew Schulte, Justin Michael, Jason Russo, Chad Roy, Steve Dukes in the top 5, and they're all really great drivers. But you can't count on anyone else, and cautions breed cautions, and that collects a lot of drivers, and the race could have been a lot different with a little more green.
Well, we have currently got 26 drivers still driving out here tonight. Been a little rough, but 26 drivers surviving tonight after 10 cautions. Not too terrible at all.
This is a lot better.
We're going to get our driver interviews in here momentarily. We are looking at Andrew Schulte tonight as our race winner. Bringing home that position 2 position is Justin Michael. And we've got KMA's very own Jason Ruscio bringing home position 3. How about it, Jason Ruscio? Have you got a copy?
I got you.
All righty, very proud of you. Bringing home the Pro Automotive into position 3. The microphone is all yours.
Well,
I want you to interview Andrew when I'm done with him.
I was really hoping for a little better end of this race. I think I had something for them 2 guys up in front, Justin Michael and Andrew Schulte, but well, maybe next time we'll get them. See what we can do.
Now, next week, Jason, we are heading for Auto Club. Do you think Auto Club might run a little bit better?
I think so. Actually, I thought tonight was going to run a little bit better. A little heavy on the cautions, but I don't know. Hopefully Auto Club's a little bit better than that.
Honestly, Jason, I was watching your lap times, and if the cautions did not come out, you were catching them hard.
You were a man on a mission.
Yeah. I had a pretty good truck all night. Cautions just didn't fall the way I needed them, and it is what it is. Get them next time.
All right, either way it goes, very proud of the number 14 tonight, Pro Automotive. Good luck. Thank you for being here, Jason.
No, thank you for having us, and thank you for putting on a good show for all of us, all the fans out there, and it's a good time.
All righty. All right, how about our number 2 spot, Justin Michael?
Hey, Scott. We had a good race. A little disappointed finishing second, but I'm glad Andrew won. If anybody else could have won, I'm glad it was him. So we'll take it, go to Auto Club, and hopefully we'll pull out another victory there.
All righty, one more shout out to the sponsor?
Absolutely. Just
when I
Next
move
Gen
him,
Studios
you
for the
interview
sponsorship.
Andrew.
Check them out on Facebook as well. They do iRacing sim paints now, so probably some of the best online. So check them out and tell Mark I sent you over.
All righty, sounds good. Great job tonight.
Thanks, Scott.
User was moved out of your channel.
Go ahead with Andrew.
Hey, Andrew, Kyle up here. You got a copy?
Got a copy. How you doing, Kyle?
So, you finished first. How you feeling, and how was your truck tonight?
I'm ecstatic that I finished first. I did not think that I was going to be able to get in front of Justin there, but he put up a good fight. It was a lot of fun racing at the end, and it was a good race.
Stretch him out.
Like the others mentioned, a little heavy on cautions, but hopefully Auto Club is going to run a little bit better.
Yeah, you and Justin as teammates, you two definitely put on a good race. And did you ever worry about your fuel at a certain point?
No, with the amount of cautions we were having towards the end, I had checked and we were good on fuel to the end. So I think it was with the second to last caution we had. I was really debating coming in, and I was basing it off of whether Justin was coming in and whether the others were coming in behind me. And no one looked like they were coming in, so I decided to stay out with them, and it worked out for us.
I can tell you one thing: the top 3, you, Justin, and Jason, you all put on a great fight for the end of that race, and it was definitely exciting to watch you all race that.
Yes, sir. Great job tonight, Andrew.
Thank you, sir.
All righty. So to wrap things up tonight, Kyle,
User was moved out of your channel.
we have got Andrew Schulte, Justin Michael, Jason Russo. A little bit heavy. Next week we move on to Auto Club. But more importantly, right now, what is on my mind is tomorrow night's live broadcast of the Fathers' Rights Movement. If you're a dad, you need to be there, fighting for equal representation for all fathers, stepfathers, and stepmothers included in the Fathers' Rights Movement. Also, big shout out to All Pro Broadcasting. Check them out, All Pro Broadcasting on YouTube, the busiest men in the business. Booking now, but I tell you what, gentlemen, if you want to get booked by All Pro, you better get your slots in months in advance. Best broadcaster there is. Big shout out to our fans, Becky, Ronald, Martha Tierheimer, and a big shout out to you, Kyle, for helping me out tonight.
Thank you, and a big shout out to my mom, Jane Uddin.
All righty, I tell you what, we talk about dads, but moms matter too. All parents matter. And looking forward to Auto Club. Big shout out one more time to you and All Pro Broadcasting. I am Scott Kolovic, announcer for KOA with my good buddy Kyle Kasabek. Kyle Kasabek, thank you, sir, and you have a good night.
You too, and everyone in chat, y'all have a good night as well.
And we are out of here, ladies and gentlemen.
Cares.
Holy shit.
Well, I look
Good
at
job,
it,
Kyle.
but
Very good
obviously
job tonight.
they care.
Nice saves.
Sound muted.
Have to go like that. I don't think it should matter.
Yeah, that was a little pain
Okay,
in the
guys,
ass,
from
but-
now on, when you see somebody go 3 wide, just call out the number.
What? That
That's
was
the way
a
we're
good
gonna
race
do it
at
from
least.
now on.
Yeah, are you going to be here next week for auto?
Before the backstretch.
I should have it.
You guys have incidents?
If you don't have
I
it,
got
I'll buy it
it.
for you.
Travis got
I gotta
called
get
out
the
as,
3 months.
and
I gotta buy the
multiple
extra month,
people
and
Yeah,
then buy it,
multiple
but that
people
should be
did
fine
it.
now.
Hell, one time we were 4 wide, and
If you
I
can't
said
get it,
something,
I'll buy it
but
for you because I need
I
you in the
didn't
booth.
call out numbers, and
Temper.
then all of a sudden they called
I'll let
Travis's
you know.
number, and we're basically
Let me know early.
I get paid next
getting
week,
black
so
flagged,
I'll let you
and
know come Thursday.
That didn't set well with me.
that's kind
I
of
should be
bullshit.
fine now, actually. I should just
Oh
get it
man,
now and
man,
say
that
fuck
was
it.
some heavy netcode.
Okay, copy.
That sucks.
Holy fuck, y'all.
How was it from up there?
Clusterfuck, just like it was.
No,
from down
it
here.
wasn't bad. I mean, cautions were a little heavy for Michigan, but I mean, it wasn't bad. At least we could find the cautions this time.
This was last week.
Yeah, because when they were